For years, I've been involved in some form or capacity with Tu Casa by attending their functions, their events, or even just attending the ribbon cutting of this building and this facility. Hearing testimonials from people from time to time at their annual events. But I really didn't get a true sense of how important Tu Casa is and the services they provide until one night when I received a phone call from a lady who was obviously in some form of distress. She called and told me that she had just left her home from being beaten by her husband, and she didn't know what to do or where to go. And so while I was on the phone with her, I asked her, I said, well, ma'am, where are you now? Because what I wanted to do is make sure that she was at a safe place. And she said, I'm parked outside your house. And I said, my house? And she said, yes, I'm parked outside your house. So I went to the front window, and as I peeked out the window, I saw a car parked on the side of the street, and I could see the silhouette of a person inside the car on the phone. And I said, okay, well, I'll come out there. Give me a minute. And I got dressed and walked out to her car. And when I saw her, I could tell right away that she was not in a good place. She was shaking and trembling and crying. And it was one of the first times that I had ever seen up close someone who had been beaten on this side of her face. When I walked up to the driver's side of the car, I could see these knots and bruises and redness all over her face. And with her crying, it just, that really shocked me. And she said, well, I don't know what else to do. I don't know where to go. I don't have anybody I can turn to. I need help, and I don't know who I could contact. You're the only one that I know and that might be able to help. And for years, I always kept my cell phone number posted on all of our social media. My cell phone number is posted on our website. And I always tell people, if you ever need anything 24/7, you can call me on my cell phone and I'll do what I can to help. But this was the first time someone really ever took me up on it. So I was completely shocked. It was like I had a brain freeze, like, well, how can I get this lady help, and who can I call to help? So while she's talking to me and telling me about what happened to her, and I'm right there outside her car, I can see her face as it was swollen. The thought came, I said, well, maybe I should go inside and get her some ice. I said, ma'am, you probably need help. Would you like for me to call the ambulance, or would you like to go to the hospital, or would you like to call the police? And she was adamant that we didn't call the police because she didn't want her husband to get in trouble. She was adamant that we don't go to the hospital because she didn't want to have to make a report. And I said, well, ma'am, let me at least go inside and get some ice. I went inside the house, and while I was going inside the house, I'm trying to think of, what am I going to do? How am I going to help this lady? She doesn't want me to call the cops. She doesn't want to go to the hospital for help. And as I was getting the ice out of the refrigerator and putting it into the Ziploc bag, Tu Casa came to my mind. I was like, wow, Tu Casa. That's what Tu Casa. And the great thing about it is that I had Tu Casa's number in my phone because I knew people who worked at Tu Casa, and I knew that even though it was late, they had like an emergency hotline that a person could call. So as I went back out to give the lady the ice, I gave her the ice, and before going out there, I wrote down Tu Casa's contact information, and then I handed it to the lady, and she took it. I remember her putting the ice on the side of her head, and she thanked me for that. And I said, "Ma'am, please call this hotline. Call them, and they'll be able to help you." I said, "Ma'am, but if you don't get through, if you don't get the help, call me back and I'll see what else I can do." She called Tu Casa, and Tu Casa was able to help her. Now, I'm not for sure how long Tu Casa had to help her. I'm not for sure what all services they had to provide, but I do know that she was able to receive the help. That's when I truly realized how important it is for us to have this resource in our community to serve those who are at the most vulnerable part of their life experience. So that's why I encourage everyone, if you know of someone who's experiencing any type of domestic violence, or who don't know who to turn to, or who don't know where to go to get help, please share the contact information that Tu Casa has to give those people the help that they need. The fact that Tu Casa has the 24-hour emergency hotline is so crucial, because without that hotline, that lady would not have had an opportunity to get the help that she needed. When she called that hotline, she didn't get a recording. She got a live person. And the reason she got a live person is because Tu Casa has volunteers who handle the phones during those hours, late night and 24 hours a day. So for those of you who are looking for a way to give back to the community and volunteer, find a way to be of service, please consider being a volunteer on the Tu Casa Community 24-hour hotline to help those who may be in need.